curious, inquisitive, interested, inquiring, prying, nosy, intrigued, analytical, meddlesome, quizzical, searching. Today we're going to talk about curiosity and how it can apply to design. Hi, I'm Jeremy, industrial designer by training, public servant by day, and a passionate maker by night. And today I had a completely different idea for this video, which was fully scripted and basically to go in line with my Design Literacy for Makers series. But last night I attended my design school's graduation ceremony and am completely inspired to do something totally different and off script today. So the Design Grad Show is basically for the students, primarily for the graduating students, to display the work that they've completed throughout the course of the year. And it's also a time where you can celebrate not only that, but basically all the students' work and reflect on past years as well. So part of the ceremony is they'll invite past graduates to come and speak. So one designer from 40 years ago, essentially, who graduated 40 years ago, came to talk, and one of the key points that stuck with me was to not lose your playfulness or your curiosity. And it's something that can easily disappear over the years if you're sort of too head down in the weeds and thinking about all the budgetary constraints and time limits and all this stuff. You don't take time to play. So that, combined with a video that I saw last night about a guy making fake rocks, inspired me to basically make this video today and go experiment and play with some ideas that I think can lead into some additional projects, and as a basically alternative to some past projects that I've worked on. So so we're gonna head out to the garage and we're gonna play with some cardboard and some dirt and cement. Maybe not dirt, but cardboard. Definitely cardboard and definitely cement. All right, let's go to the garage. Okay, so now that we're in the garage, it's playtime. I'm gonna gather up some materials and I'll explain kind of what I'm doing along the way. So first things first, get some cardboard. Okay, so one of the benefits to having everything shipped to your house is cardboard. You get essentially a free building material wrapped around your products. So obviously I took this out of the recycling bin and it's recyclable material, but it's corrugated, it's strong, it's lightweight, it's cheap. So I'm gonna see if I can use this in a different method and basically explore my curiosity of whether or not this will fulfill a different need. So the idea with this is to create a substrate for concrete furniture for outside. So instead of using like a wood frame or form, to use cardboard instead and see if it actually works. So if it does, this might unlock a few different options for exterior furniture. So that's the theme of today's video, is to lean into the creativity and try something new. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so now that I've got a bunch of strips cut with the corrugation going in the short direction, that will allow it to be more easily bent and form curves and whatnot. So I'm going to use the hot glue gun to glue these together and basically use them as ribs to create a structure, and then perhaps skin it with an exterior cardboard. I'm not sure if we're going to use the corrugation like this on the outside as something that can be grippy to hold on to the concrete. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. We'll make the structure first and we'll go from there. right, now that the shape's coming along, what I'm going to do is take some more bent rib sections and glue these along the inside, maybe 2 or 3 up along the inside of each one of these open sections, and that should fill everything out and then add a little bit more rigidity to the top. It doesn't need to be super strong, it just needs to hold a thin coat of concrete. So it's coming along. Okay, so now that I've got a fairly complete form, actually I went ahead and added some additional ribs in the kind of the larger gaps. I still have these holes that need to be filled, so what I'm going to do next is take some of the paper. So this is the exterior paper that's on the outside of the corrugation. So I rip that off. I'll cut these into little triangles, basically essentially to fill these holes. So I want this to be a nice uniform surface. Okay, so once I've got the paper on the exterior of this, I'll be able to mix up some concrete and basically put a skin coat over the top of the whole surface. So I've got some cement, a bag of sand.
Bag of sand?
And that's it. I thought I had some fiberglass like bits that I could mix in and make basically like a GFRC. I don't, that'll have to be another test, but at the very least I've got some of the elements, so I'll do a little bit and we'll get a little shell on this and see how it sets up overnight. So that's the next step. Here we are the next day. The concrete's had a chance to cure a little bit. It still seems to be quite damp. So, and there's been some cracks that have developed in the surface. So, all in all, I think it's worked out in that it didn't slump down the sides and it basically held to the form. So, yeah, what I'll do now is just kind of go around, release it from the plastic sheets that I have on the table, flip it over and see where we're at, and then I'll just, yeah, kind of inspect it, see how it worked. Oh, wah, wah, wah. Okay, so that didn't go exactly as planned, but I'm not going to call this a failure because I learned something and I leaned into my curiosity, which was the whole point of this. Overall, I think this is worth pursuing, and I think I'm going to revisit this definitely because I definitely think there's some some potential here. So gonna do a little bit more research and see if there's a better mixture. I probably could have let this cure a little bit longer, but all in all, all in all, it was a fun little experiment. So yeah, so thanks for watching. And if you've stuck around this far and are interested to learn more about industrial design and applying that to your own projects, please subscribe. I'm gonna have more content like that coming up, yeah, and more builds, and hopefully in the near future I'll revisit this project and actually make it functional. So yeah, if ever you're curious and you want to experiment, I suggest you go make something. All right, thanks for watching. Until next time.